Yep, you're
And
right.
I don't mean your homeboys. I don't mean your homeboys, Buki and May May and Keyshawn from around the way, unless they're like Maverick. It's not worth it because they trying to turn them and get theirs too. Stop being dumb. Stop being dumb. Next.
Man. Yep. Man, this one was interesting. It's Taraji P. Henson wanting to quit acting. Jump into it. I'm gonna put the clip in here too, but explain to people if they.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, "You work a lot." Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up is a whole entire team behind us.
Yes.
They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, "Oh, such and such made $10 million," no, that's not that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%.
That's right.
Okay? So do the math. Now we have 5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed,
Sometimes
not
more.
after what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So
You're tired.
I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I get that.
It wears on you, Because what does that mean? What is that telling me?
What is it telling me? Yeah. And what does it tell me? Yeah.
And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. I think it's an important message for people to hear because we see the lights, camera, action.
And then
And
they
it's so
tell me we
glamorous,
don't
yes.
translate overseas.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face.
Want me to see the clip?
So ultimately, Taraji is frustrated because still, even in her industry and at the, you know, highest of levels and recognition when it comes to the academy and all of that, still fighting the same fight that we fighting at our corporate jobs to get equal pay. And I think people um are missing a huge point here because we always look at celebrities and stuff, some of our faves, like they're multimillionaires and blah 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 blah. But like she said, people don't realize how expensive it is to run that ship. You have employees, you have agents, you have attorneys fees, you have uh booking fees, you gotta pay your assistant. You are so many people's lifeline on top of taxes too. And so she is just frustrated and tired of having to fight for that, to negotiate, and you figuring out that so many people, like of other races, you only getting a fraction of what they offer them. Like, why do I have to constantly, every time somebody calls me, why am I selling myself to you and you call me?
You called me. Like on Martin, when
So
Martin got the job with the TV station, he was like, "Gina, aren't you going to do this?" Like, no, they called me, Gina.
they call me. And so I think and then her even saying, they always tell us that our stories are not marketable overseas, if we don't translate well, and it's always somebody else. And it's just like, what does that mean? And I think people forget how inherently racist the world is as a whole until it's something, like what's happening right now in Palestine. And then, but y'all get what's happening in Sudan and the Congo and all these places that have been issues for a long time. You hear random stories every now and again about the racism, or somebody was killed in London or something, or in Germany, or black, every once in a while. But I think that we are so jaded as Americans sometimes forget about that. Like, unless you are in some crazy big blockbuster movie, so like in that case, it will be something like a Black Panther or some sort of Marvel film. People forget. Like Creed, they were able to take Creed more worldwide just because of that studio backing. But like she said, when it comes to our shit, y'all always
also the Arnold Sylvester Stallone was involved with it too. You gotta don't forget that part. And it was a franchise that people love.
Yep. And then, so it I don't think people realize the toll that takes. And we already got to work quadruple as hard as everybody, the basic ass person. It's a lot of people that are in places and positions of power that are very mediocre at best.
That's true. And not just in entertainment.
And not just in entertainment. We all, listen, I deal with it at my job. You deal with it at your job.
Y'all listening, y'all deal with it at your job.
Y'all deal with it. Y'all can relate. And so that's why I think when we Black people, we be confused. Like when we find another one of us and you don't be in our corner, because we be like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
I'm with you. I'm right there.
Yep. That's fine. Over there, I'm over here, and that's cool. Hello, and keep it moving. But it happens all the time. My sister was just telling me about situation with one of her best friends. Hell, she was telling me about her job. I said, baby, the way I'm petty, and I would start BCCing or just CCing that person's boss, who they report to. Oh, this what we doing? All right, that's not a problem. Boss on there, and y'all can have a conversation. It's just, so it's really frustrating to even see somebody, and I know Taraji personally because when I was working at Saks, she was my personal client. So I'm thinking about conversations, certain things, that you talked about, you could draw from, and just how her spirit was. And to even hear that, like I said, like you think about stuff, but then when you start trickling down, and that goes back to the conversation when it comes to athletes. Because a lot of people, don't think about that cost. And that's how they say, athletes, after they out of whatever profession that they're in, they go broke within a certain amount of time, one lavish lifestyle, till you got taxes that you got to pay. You got this big ass house that that you don't really need. And you paying all these people that's, got their hands. Remember what happened to Dennis Rodman? And you can sue to recover that. A lot of times people still never see that money ever again.
You can't squeeze blood from a turnip.
Listen. So it's definitely, it puts a lot into perspective for us. And I don't want to, don't make this a sound bite, because I don't feel like fighting nobody that don't look like me regarding this station, but this conversation, because this is what I mean when I say we are tired. Don't make out.
I'm flipping it right out. Flipping it right out. This is really, and I'm connecting it to the other video and be like, "Hey, she got a response."
We say we're tired, because when people are actively doing the work and they're showing up, and I'm like, hey, you called me and you don't want to give me this, but you give it, Carrie Mulligan 5 minutes to do this. Why? You only get 200K. I'm the draw. Like, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. And especially now, like, I don't know what the conversation was when it came to The Color Purple. Because I know Tyler Perry had to call her to pick up the phone. She's like, to tell her, Oprah been trying to call you.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. So, and like I said, I know that we only have so much equity as Black people when it comes to certain realms, right? But I think that's also why it's so important for us to stick together and stand up for each other, because like we crack jokes, like how I even just cracked the joke. You got to do a couple Tyler Perry films. Is that really bad? We know he pay his people.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get paid. Now it might not be no reshoots, but you get paid.
And you're gonna have to do a lot in a small time period too. You're gonna be working.
But you're gonna get a nice vacation, and he gonna make sure your family good.
Mm-hmm.
Tasha Smith is like that.
I heard she's a great person to work with too, like directing wise and stuff too.
My brother worked with her when he did an episode of 911, and Tasha Smith loves him. Loves my brother.
She's one of those actors too that you like, those people that you rooted for, like, and you saw her in so much stuff over time. He's like, man, she just need that break. She's one of those people that you root for as an actor.
And we've seen her, and I think it's so crazy because we're so used to her kind of being stuck as a certain character. When you see her outside of that, you're like, what the hell? And then you see, the range. She's survival the thickest.
Mm-hmm.
With
she was
Michelle,
she was good on First Wives Club for this last season.
Yep. And I'm like, wait. I said, damn, Tasha Smith not yelling. I'm confused. But I thoroughly enjoyed her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the conversation too. Just like us upholding and doing certain things with each other, and just trying to really be understanding of what we have going on. I'm sorry, my dog is chewing something. I was trying to see because I had all this popcorn kernel. I was moving back. I popped mine on the stove, and Pax, come here. And so I was trying to move it to get the flour, and I squeezed the bag too tight.
Oh,
and it fell everywhere. I mean, I still been cleaning up popcorn kernels. I swept, vacuum. They was all in the cabinet. They was in my glasses. They hit me in the eye. So yeah. But yeah, I think we just gotta, kind of do better as a whole and figure that out, because that really sucks. And, people, well, she got money and blah blah blah. No, I'm like, y'all act like, though a lot of their problems be first world problems, but you act like Buki and May ain't calling Taraji. It's probably like the same thing like Gabrielle Union was talking about, that survival mode. You still in survival mode because it's still so many people that rely on you. And yes, we could talk about boundaries or whatever, but if you have an elderly sick parent. Hey y'all, if y'all like this clip from Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with everybody. And be sure to check out more clips on our playlist right here on the right corner, right there. Click that.